LabourPro is a systematic approach towards improving employee behavior in your company. Designed by South Africans and in the context of South African business, the original thinking was to create an intuitive system that simplifies the disciplinary process so that any business can easily comply with the statutory requirements. For our customers, this tried and trusted software has become an indispensable business tool that helps them grow their companies by making employees accountable for their actions and ensuring that they are productive, reliable, and efficient. Welcome to LabourPro, the new era in disciplinary management. At the heart of LabourPro is its code of conduct, used to establish the set of rules that govern the behavior of employees in your organization. It lays the foundation for disciplinary action. LabourPro ships with a standard code of conduct that is fully customizable to cater for your company's unique needs. For example, you can specify certain quality standards that employees are expected to meet, or create rules that are specific to your industry or business activities. With a few mouse clicks, you can easily map out the disciplinary process for each offense based on its severity. Once completed, your code of conduct can be printed from the system so that employees can be made aware of their expected behavior. With LabourPro Professional Edition, issuing a warning is as easy as generating an invoice. Simply select the employee, select the offense, fill in a few details, and process. The LabourLogic processor automatically considers the severity of the offense as well as the employee's history of offenses in order to determine the appropriate sanction. It then selects and prints the correct document with all relevant information transferred to it. This automated function greatly reduces the processing time and drastically lowers the level of expertise required to perform disciplinary actions. And because sanctions are based on a set of fixed algorithms, consistency is virtually guaranteed. But LabourPro still offers you the flexibility to consider each case on its own merit. In some cases, warnings may not be appropriate, and so LabourPro provides you with various alternatives. Disciplinary counseling letters can be used when an employee unintentionally breaks a rule and you feel that it needs to be explained to him. With this communication placed on the record, the employee cannot claim to be unaware of this rule in the future, and a warning would therefore be justified if the rule was broken again. Another option that can be selected is an incident report. This is generally used when an employee seems to have a valid excuse for committing an offense. For example, an employee is late for work and claims to have been stuck in traffic. By logging these incidents, you will be able to keep track of and challenge the validity of frequently used excuses. To assist you with your decision in terms of whether or not to issue a warning or choose an alternative sanction, LabourPro has a built-in guilt wizard. By selecting this function, you will be asked a series of questions relating to the substantive issues of the case, and based on your answers, it will recommend the appropriate action. This is particularly useful for users that are unfamiliar with the legal considerations that should be applied when it comes to processing misconduct. But LabourPro's flexibility works both ways. Perhaps an employee committed an offense with such malicious intent that the LabourPro sanction would not be sufficient. The option therefore exists to override this sanction and choose a harsher one, with the ability to list the reasons why a harsher sanction was justified. In such cases, the documentation that is printed would reflect the fact that you have chosen this option. In general, the issuing of warnings can be an unpleasant experience for both managers and employees alike. To mitigate this effect, counseling has been included as a part of every disciplinary action. Counseling can have a remarkable effect on the attitude of the employee, as it can be used to explain why the rule exists, how it affects the company when the rule is broken, and provide messages that encourage the employee not to commit the offense again. The manager's emphasis is therefore shifted towards correcting the employee's behavior instead of focusing on the negative aspects of the misconduct. To speed up this process, LabourPro has an auto-counseling feature that allows you to create and then select predetermined counseling messages from a list and insert them into the employee's warning. The benefit is that your counseling messages are consistent and delivered in the tone and language that was intended, regardless of who issued the warning. You will also find that employees are far more accepting of warnings when effective counseling is conducted, because it helps them to understand where the company is coming from. At LabourPro, we understand how important time can be to any manager, and that disciplinary action is often overlooked if the time that it takes to process such an action is too long. Let's imagine for a second that 10 employees arrive late after lunchtime, and that it will take at least 10 minutes to process every warning using a manual system. This amounts to more than 1.5 hours of lost time for the manager. LabourPro's Copy Offense feature will assist you in situations like these, by making our already fast processing even faster. Once you have processed the first employee, you simply need to copy the offense, which will allow you to select and transfer certain offense information from one employee's record to the next, greatly reducing the processing time. But even though the same offense is being processed, each employee's sanction would still be determined individually based on their own history of offenses. One of the main benefits of LabourPro is that all offenses are stored electronically in the employee's offense history table. This table displays the dates that offenses were committed, the sanctions that were delivered, as well as the users that processed them. The full detail of any offense is easily accessible by simply drilling down into the record, placing all employee offense information at your fingertips without having to access the physical files. LabourPro also automatically removes warnings from the active offenses list when they expire. These records can, however, still be viewed from the expired offenses list, but are not considered by the system when determining the next progressive sanction for a new offense. Table information can be grouped according to offenses that are similar in their nature, allowing you to view progressive disciplinary steps that have taken place. This can also be printed and used at a disciplinary hearing to show that the correct disciplinary process had been followed. If the disciplinary process has reached this final point, LabourPro will assist you to conduct a disciplinary hearing. From the system, you would be able to schedule the hearing by setting the date, time and venue, and then printing out the official notification for the employee, as well as a temporary suspension letter if this is necessary. And if the employee wishes to have the hearing postponed, this entire process can also be managed by LabourPro, from the initial generation of the postponement application form to the processing of the decision to grant the employee's request or reject it. Other useful system documentation includes the record of the hearing and various guides that will assist the chairperson, company representative, and employee at the hearing. LabourPro's Case Builder will assist your company to prepare for disciplinary hearings. This feature allows you to log information about all evidence and witnesses that are required to prove your case. This preparation will save you valuable time at hearings by keeping you focused on the facts, instead of being drawn into endless discussions that are irrelevant to the issues at hand. Once your case has been built, this can be printed and used at the hearing to deliver solid arguments. Any electronic media that is relevant to the case can be attached to the disciplinary hearing. This may include voice or video recordings, pictures, or scanned-in documentation. After the hearing has been concluded, the entire record can be logged into the system. The chairperson's finding, as well as his sanction, can then be selected so that the relevant documentation can be printed for the employee. LabourPro can also be used to handle both internal and external appeals, allowing you to log the basis of the appeal, build your case, capture all the relevant information, and process the outcome. LabourPro offers you the unique capability to view and analyze all captured data in the system. The company stats page will display the totals and status of all disciplinary activities that have taken place. You would be able to view the amount of sanctions that have been issued by the company, as well as information relating to hearings and internal or external appeals. Global overviews are used to examine the records of multiple employees. Offences can be sorted, filtered, or grouped according to your preference with the ability to drill down to see the detail of any record. The grouping of hearing information can be particularly useful if you're trying to determine how the company has treated similar cases in the past, and can assist you with internal consistency regarding the sanctioning of employees at disciplinary hearings. Various reports will make it easy to spot trends, allowing you to respond proactively to areas in your organization that need attention. Future reporting will then provide you with feedback in terms of how these trends have changed and can be used to measure the success of any initiatives that have been put in place to improve discipline. LabourPro can be run over your network, allowing users to have access to centralized data. User rights can be set to limit these users to particular functions in the program or to the employee records of certain departments. This measure of control gives you the ability to empower line managers and delegate certain disciplinary functions without exposing the system to potential abuse. If your company is running a payroll system, this can be used as the source of employee records for LabourPro. A simple import process will automatically update and maintain the LabourPro employee records from your payroll system, thereby avoiding the duplication of data entries. So why buy LabourPro? Well, there are a couple of reasons. For a start, it will make money for your company. This is because LabourPro will assist you to manage the most important resource that your company has, your employees. By holding your employees accountable to a higher standard, you will very quickly see the benefits across your company. For example, if you are in manufacturing, this could mean better quality, less wastage, and higher productivity. Or if you are in the service industry, this could mean an increase in customer satisfaction. Regardless of your industry, your employees are the ones that will ultimately deliver your market offering to your customers, and you should be the one that determines how this is done. Now, you might be thinking that you already have a labor consultant, so why incur an additional expense? This is a fair point, but you should realize that LabourPro and consultants perform two very distinct and different functions. Labor consultants are great for the big things, like assisting with employment contracts, chairing hearings, or representing you at the CCMA, much like the function that auditors perform for accounting. LabourPro, on the other hand, handles the day-to-day management of discipline and improves the operations of your company in a way that a consultant simply can't. To demonstrate this point, I would like you to answer a simple question. Name one time that your consultant has improved quality, productivity, attendance, or any other aspect of your business. This is no fault of the consultant, it just simply isn't their function. But it is the function of LabourPro, and it does so with ease and efficiency. Now, we are not oblivious to the fact that times are tough, and that you might feel that your company cannot afford any additional expenses. But if you think about what LabourPro will do for your company, isn't this exactly the time when you will need it most? Can you, for example, afford to lose any customers due to bad service, or blunder the opportunity to win a new one? Can you afford the unnecessary wastage of materials or company resources? Can you afford to have an inefficient workforce that causes you to hire more people than is actually required, especially when you consider that the yearly cost of each employee on minimum wage is approximately 25,000 Rand? In these trying times, employee discipline is not a luxury, it is a necessity. So the real question is, can you afford not to have LabourPro in your company? If you know the answer to this question, contact us now and order LabourPro, and release the true potential of your employees.